Gonna have to figure out a way to put this stuff together. Unfortunately, I keep hitting the stop button on the recording. All right, so definitely let's take a look from the top here in just a sec. And this was an intermittent problem for me as far as coolant leak. So it would leak and we'd kind of fill her up. And sometimes with distilled water, sometimes with coolant. And then it would seem to seal itself. And then the problem would kind of come back. So definitely time, if nothing else, time for the water pump. But I'll show you. Right there, it was definitely leaking out from the bearing on there. Okay. So quite not a lot of play, but definitely time for a new one. Now let's down out and take a look at the surface. We're gonna need to clean off this gasket surface and clean up around those. So we're definitely gonna do that. All right, so we'll do that off camera. All right, so we have the new idle gear on. It's that thing with a little bit of grease on it. Let's see if we can clean that off real quick. And that's why I'm changing the cam seals, because I just have this sneaking suspicion that there's going to be an issue behind those. So we'll do that. All right, let's continue on. Let's get this set up right here for us. Let's look down at the cam. Let's see where we go from here. All right. All right, do the front cam real quick. This is the cover. Or what they call, I believe is called the cap. T55. I don't know that the cap is necessarily torqued, but we'll find out here. Okay, that's the adjustable nature. Okay, we're up against the cam lock now. There we go, broke free. And you can see how the adjustable timing works. So this is the hub that's rotating without moving the cam. Big oil flow behind that guy. Big oil flow. All right, well, that'll get everything nice and oiled up down there. Basically falling down on top of the crank hub and assembly, but we'll get that shot off with some cleaner. Wasn't expecting that much oil behind that cap, but I'll be prepared for the next one. Okay, inspect the cap real quick. O-ring. Nice to be able to replace the O-ring on that. Oh, here comes some more oil. Drop down here, give it a little clean up. We'll clean all that up with some carb cleaner, spray clean. Now, the inner is a T55 as well. And this is the nut, it's the bolt that secures the cam hub. And I know this torque value is pretty darn high. So let's see if we can. Not gonna get it broken that way. This is going to require, I'll see, I trim my big boy ratchet. Because the baby ratchet just isn't doing it right now. All right, give me just a sec. Didn't bring that one out with me. Let me go grab it. All right. Back, thanks for the wait. Go ahead and fast forward through about 30 seconds. Bring in the heavy artillery. This is going to be a problem. Get all leverage we can, that'll work. Got it. All right. Let's get her in there. Boom. Nope. Not budging. I believe the torque value on these is somewhere around 100 foot-pounds, if I'm not mistaken, or it's possibly Newton meters. Check on that. Definitely want to do anything that causes that to strip out. There's one on there, son of a gun. How's this box set up? Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Let's done with our oil leak for the time being. All right, let's check this guy out. Okay, it's the ECU cover. TCU. Had this out before. Just gonna give it a little wiggle, little jiggle. Get it right past the water. Windshield wiper fluid bucket. And out. All right. So we remove that to give it a little bit more room. Pull off my extension. Let's go back in here. I'll be darned. Man, that dude is on there. Of course, it's a knuckle buster too. If it breaks free. Locked on the cam solid. Thought I felt it when I give way there a little bit. But then, no. Oh, man. All right, well, gonna have to do a little more research. Got to clean up the water pump housing edges and the mating surfaces. So we'll do that off camera. Do some research on these hubs and see what we're doing with regards to the torque spec. I may have to bring out the big torque wrench and use that, which is probably going to work the best. But for right now, I think we're going to go ahead and wrappersy daisy. Go ahead and leave those off. ECU and TCU cover. Just leave it accessible for right now. And thank you for joining me. There's a couple of parts in the video that we didn't have get broken down, so I'm going to slide this right back down onto my ECU TCU real quick. Lock those in the slots just so we can get the hood closed. Alright, that'll work. And we'll sign off for now. So, thanks for taking the time to watch, going through trials and tribulations. I do think that the breaker bar slash my light 250-pound torque wrench, big long handle, like a 2-foot handle. We'll go ahead and break that up. So, we'll go ahead and put Mr. water reservoir, coolant reservoir back in. I'll slide Mr. water pump back in. So close the hood up. And with that, we're going to give it a wrap. All right. We'll be back when we figure out the case of the frozen VVT hub.